Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WCUA's coverage of Catholic University Ice Hockey. I'm Giuliano Luca, happy to be with you tonight as your Cardinals are set to face off against the George Mason University Patriots. Live from the Tucker Road Ice Rink in Fort Washington, Maryland, it's the Cardinals. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to George Mason is a member of the M2 Elite Division, similar to George Washington University. They come into this game with an 0-1 record as they lost their home opener 4-1 last Saturday to Georgetown University. Number 28, Tim Marcasso scored the lone goal for George Mason, cutting a 3-0 deficit to a 3-1 deficit. With 5 minutes left in the third, Georgetown put the game on ice with an insurance goal. Number 1, Daniel Zakula made 36 saves on 40 shots, giving him a 90 save percentage and a goals against a 4 for the game and so far on the season. Catholic comes into this game with the same record of 0-1. Last Friday night at the St. James, Catholic lost 7-1 to George Washington University. 3 late penalties in the first period led to an impending doom for the Cardinals, creating a 3-0 hole after 1 period of play. Throughout the rest of the game, Catholic would struggle to find their legs, but had enough gas in the tank to break the shutout of GW's goaltender Gavin Salvazzi. With 5 minutes left in the third, number 11, Brendan Johnson, tipped a Cole Mulcahy shot for his first goal of the season. It would be the only highlight of an otherwise slow start to the year. Last year, Catholic and George Mason split their season series, with both teams winning 1 game each. Both games were decided in overtime, with George Mason coming away victorious 4-3 in the first game, and later in the season, Catholic would get their revenge. Number 27, Jackson Shoreswater, would score the overtime winner in an important game in February. I spoke with head coach Steven Terenzio moments ago, getting his thoughts on tonight's contest versus George Mason University. All right, good evening, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Another game here. First home opener for the Cardinals tonight. How do you feel coming into a game against George Mason, playing another M2 Elite team?
Yeah, historically they always play us tough. They're all well coached. They're very difficult to play against. They definitely maximize their talent. So expect them to give us a tough game like always. And, we had a good week of practice and teams, certainly taking a step forward from where we were last week. So expect to see some improvement from us and hopefully we can show some signs out there.
Now, with a minimal practice schedule should change this upcoming week, how do you get everything that you need to get in with one on-ice practice for the fellas?
Yeah, obviously, we try and pick and choose what, the most important elements of the game upcoming is going to be. So we took a look at our last game and looked at, where can we make some immediate improvements and tried to address those on practice on Monday and then, use some off ice to build in some other items as well. So, definitely not an ideal situation, but team's done really well to make the most of it and hopefully we can show that tonight.
And like you mentioned, that George Mason's a team that Cardinals always send it to play tough every single game. How do things change tonight, make it a little bit more wide open early on?
Yeah, I like to see us jump, right out of the gate from the start. I think, against George Mason, because they play, a bit more of a passive style of hockey. They kind of lull you into sleep from a little bit, and they let you possess the puck without pressure. And sometimes when that happens, you kind of lay off the gas a little bit and you play comfortable. But we definitely got to push the pedal down and go at them from the beginning because I think, if we can open up a lead, it'll make the game a lot easier for us coming down the stretch.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you. Your Chick-fil-A starting goaltender tonight is number 30, David Zapp, the native of Andover, New Jersey. The senior goaltender posted a 6-4 record last season alongside a .325 goals against average and an .895 save percentage. Zapp makes his season debut tonight and looks to pick up where he left off. Now, George Mason, we don't have their starting goaltender today. They have a couple goaltenders listed on their roster. Daniel Zakula is one of them. He has played against the Catholic Cardinals several times in the last few years, and he has steadily gotten increasingly better as the years have gone on. We'll see if he's in net tonight. Not really sure who's in goal. We're going to have a quick word with their head coach, and we'll come back and relay the information. But as of right now, we do not know who is in net for George Mason. And while we have a brief moment here, let's discuss and announce, sort of, in a sense, the new Cardinal players. They got 3 freshmen joining the team, 2 of which are in the lineup tonight. Number 2, Owen Finnegan. He's a forward who previously played for the Rockville Center Cyclones. He's also from Rockville Center, New York. Number 76, Blake Simonson. He's a forward who previously played for the Genesis Hockey Club. He hails from Warrington, Pennsylvania. Caden Van, a goaltender who's not with us tonight, but he previously played for the Potomac Patriots, and he is from Springfield, Virginia. And we also have 2 other players joining us tonight that aren't freshmen. Number 18, Luke Weidenkampf, senior. He is playing defense tonight, and he previously played for West Springfield High School. We also have a sophomore and Greg Malibayabas. He is scratched tonight, but he is a forward who previously played for Loyola Blakefield. And we do have some time here. Zamboni's still on the ice. Let's talk about the divisions once again and get into some other games that happened around the league or is happening right now. So the other M2A divisions include the Blue Ridge division. That consists of High Point, Liberty, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech. The Eastern Shore division, which Catholic was a part of a couple seasons ago, consisting of Loyola, Stevenson, Navy, and Salisbury. The SEC, or the Southeastern Conference, consisting of College of Charleston, Coastal Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. And the Tri-State Division, consisting of York College, Rowan, Westchester, and Penn State main campus. We're going to take a bit of a break here. Thanks for tuning into the pregame on WCUA on YouTube. We'll be back in just a moment here to discuss some other games around the league and for warm-ups to commence. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks for tuning in early. Hey, we're back here live at the Tucker Road Ice Rink in Fort Washington, Maryland. Good to have everybody on and ready for the Cardinals home opener. We actually got some more GMU fans here tonight than Catholic fans. Not really a good turnout from our fan base so far, but hopefully some of them are still trickling in and getting down from a lot of far drive rides potentially. They're going to have the goaltender here listed for George Mason University. It's number 32, Timothy Korolev, the native of Moscow, Russia. Last year, Korolev posted a 1-1 record alongside a 6 goals against average and an .844 save percentage. He hopes to have a strong season debut tonight. And he is noted as one of their stronger goaltenders. Hasn't played a lot, but his name has come up and around the league so far, and he's someone to watch out for. He's a good goaltender, and the numbers might not show it from last year as he was maybe transitioning from the European game. The North American game is obviously a little bit different. And as you may know, once you get adjusted, goaltenders get right back where they left off. It could be a tough game tonight for the Catholic Cardinals. And as you may know, David Zapp's in net for the Catholic Cardinals, 6-4 record last year, alongside a .325 goals against average and an .895 save percentage. Zapp played some big games down the stretch. The game against Salisbury with the 7-6 win in overtime, and Zapp played out of his mind. Great game from David Zapp. I hope to see another performance like that tonight. And let's talk about the starting lineups for the Catholic Cardinals as we have them here. We have number 11, the captain, Brendan Johnson at center. At left wing, Owen Finnegan. And at right wing, number 23, Matthew McQueenie. The starting defense pair, Cole Mulcahy and Joey Henry. And in goal, the aforementioned David Zapp. A big game for the Cardinals here. They're not playing George Mason twice like they have in past years. It's the only time they'll play George Mason this season, unless they meet in a playoff bracket of some sort. But nonetheless, these teams always play each other very closely. It doesn't matter where either team is on the score sheet. The Catholic was a strong team 2 years ago when they played George Mason on the Monday night game in Virginia, and Catholic lost that game 3-2. George Mason only had 2 wins on the season. Catholic already had 8. And that was a game where you never know what team is going to show up. That's why we play the game. That's why we play hockey. And George Mason stood up and gave them all the credit in the world. They played a good game, and they won and took care of the Catholic Cardinals that night. We never know. Is it going to be a similar game to that? A similar game to an overtime game where the Cardinals win or lose? I'm not sure. These games are always so unpredictable, and games where you tune in for that reason. Both teams taking the ice, Catholic in their white uniforms and George Mason in their, I believe these are new jerseys for them. They're dark uniforms, I could say. I don't want to miss what color it could be. We're going to go over the lineup, too, the starting lineups, as we mentioned. Finnegan, Johnson, and McQueenie, Mulcahy, Henry, and then David Zapp. And the captains, like we mentioned, Brendan Johnson wearing the C this year for the Catholic Cardinals. Frankie Merja and Jackson Schwarzwater are the A's, as is Matthew Hornick, who is away enjoying the sights and sounds of Europe. We've got about 6 minutes remaining here in warm-ups. If you weren't with us earlier, we'll recap a little bit of what we said on the pregame show, percent. So George Mason's 0-1. They lost to Georgetown 4-1 last Saturday in their home opener. Tim Marcasso scored the lone goal for George Mason University. He cut a 3-0 deficit to a 3-1 deficit. With 5 minutes left in the third, Georgetown put the game on ice with an insurance goal. Daniel Zakula played that game. He's not here tonight, but he played well enough to give George Mason a chance. As we know, Catholic lost last week 7-1. They got a late goal from Brendan Johnson to take away the shutout of Gavin Slovazzi. It wasn't really the start the Cardinals were looking for. A lot of late penalties in the first period led to a 3-0 hole for the Cardinals to dig themselves out of, which they couldn't, unfortunately, do so, as we know. But nonetheless, the Cardinals looking for a better start. They have more of their legs underneath them. They look tired after the first period, per se, of the first game last week, just because they didn't have a lot of ice time under their belts. Only one practice a week with the issue with Fort DuPont Ice Arena. Well, we have a few minutes here. Let's talk about the other games around the league. So Alabama defeated Georgia 5-2. Kind of a big game in the league standpoint. It's early in the year, but teams only play each other twice. That's a big game. Alabama defeating Georgia, SEC matchup. Cardinals make the playoffs. They might face off against one or two of those teams. UMD defeated Salisbury 6-0 on September 19th. That's a big game, too. Salisbury was a big physical team last year. They graduated a lot of players, and as a result, Maryland with a shutout win over Salisbury. Christopher Newport plays Coastal Carolina tomorrow night. One game is actually going on now. We'll get the score later. Tomorrow is at 7 p.m. Christopher Newport also lost to William & Mary last Saturday night. It was 11-0 loss for Christopher Newport. That was a league game, and that can tell you about the strength maybe of William & Mary. Cardinals only played them once. They'll play them twice later in the year, 2 big games. And William & Mary was also at it again today. They beat George Mason University 9-2 last night, and they also play each other earlier today. We don't have the score right now, but we'll get that later. And Gettysburg, a future Cardinal opponent, they lost to York College 3-2 on September 12th. And another upcoming opponent for the Catholic Cardinals in a couple weeks, Kutztown, defeated Gettysburg 5-4 in OT last night. And Kutztown played Millersville today at 4 o'clock. Don't have a score there. There's some games just around the league to keep some notes on. And once again, it's good to be with everyone live from the Tucker Road Ice Rink. Now the fans starting to trickle in. I guess I said some things too quickly. Now the Cardinal fans are trickling in. Maybe they're just trying to spite me. I'm not too sure. Either way, Cardinals hoping for a big win here tonight. And like we mentioned, George Mason is always a tough opponent for the Catholic Cardinals. We have a few minutes left here. We'll be back to discuss the starting lineups again if anything has changed since I last spoke with head coach Steven Cerenzio. But nonetheless, we'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with us, and thanks for tuning in. And while we have a second here, like we mentioned, the starting lines, or to go through the entire full lines, we have Finnegan, Johnson, and McQueenie. Second line of Merja, Scott, Schwarzwater. Third line of Simonson, Brunner, and Combs. Defensive pairings, Cole Mulcahy and Joey Henry. Second pairing, Logan Selwyn and Jackson Deininger. And Luke Weidenkampf will be rotating in on the second or first pair as well. With both teams, or one team at their net, the Catholic Cardinals, the other team at their bench, George Mason University. Cardinals looking to have a strong home opener, like we mentioned. Couldn't really spoil the party against George Washington. Couldn't spoil the tea party, in a way, against George Washington University. Maybe the Cardinals have a party of their own here as the home opener commences in just a few seconds. Going to have the national anthem here as well in a few minutes. The Cardinals now at their benches, getting their last words of wisdom from head coach Steven Terenzio. I believe we'll have the, like we mentioned, the anthem too in just a second. So only one or two players with points on this score sheet. I'm looking at the statistics for the Cardinals, and only two players with points are Johnson and Mulcahy. Only one goal last game, like we mentioned. We're going to have the national anthem here. We'll talk more about that in just a moment as we have the starting five out there for the Catholic Cardinals on the blue line and ready to salute and thank the many servicemen and women of the United States of America. As always, each and every day, we thank the many service women of the United States of America and thank them that freedom is not free. Thank you for your service. As we're getting ready for the Cardinals home opener to be underway here in Fort Washington, Maryland, Cardinals versus George Mason University. Seems like a rivalry that's going on the last couple of years with every game being so close. Last two games were decided in overtime with Jackson Schwarzwater scoring the winning goal in one of them and George Mason taking the other. So we'll see who George Mason trots out for their starting five. Starting five for the Catholic Cardinals, once again, if you're just joining us. In net, David Zapp, Brendan Johnson, the center. The wingers, Owen Finnegan and Matthew McQueenie. And the defensemen, Cole Mulcahy and Joey Henry. The starting five for George Mason University, we have Timothy Korolev. Number 3, Ronan Veluso. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing these names here, trying my best. Number 21, Brody Walkinshaw. The defenseman, other side defense, number 21, Brody said the two defensemen, Owen Sorello, and at center to take the draw, number 3, excuse me, it is Roman Venezzo. Nonetheless, we'll talk about their lineups in a moment as the game commences here. Catholic able to win the opening draw and play the catch with the defense. At center ice, Finnegan gets the puck, drops it to Henry, had the puck and lost it, and now Johnson recollects. Back to Cole Mulcahy. Mulcahy has it. He waits, looks up the right side boards to McQueenie. Out of reach. This is going to be icing, or no icing on the Cardinals as George Mason didn't touch up. So Finnegan has it, gets it over to Johnson at the right side wall. Back down low at the point to Henry. Had trouble with it. Now he has the puck, shoots it back down low. Over to Finnegan. Finnegan over to Johnson. Johnson looking to cut in. He's behind the net, looking in front for the pass. And went through a skate and out of play, out of the zone. All the way down. Joey Henry trying to get there to get an icing call, not in time as the puck stopped up. Just about a minute gone by here in the first period. Henry up the boards looking for McQueenie, a little bit of a touch pass. He had it and lost it, and recollecting the puck now is George Mason at the right side. George Mason, nice play by Mulcahy to knock the man off the puck. McQueenie gets the loose puck, dumps it in the zone, and goes for a change. Now Nolan Scott racing in, hits the man hard into the boards with a big hit. Man goes down, glove comes off. Puck was still free and taken away by George Mason, but they can't clear. Now, at the right side, Jackson Deininger fakes the shot, or tried to, more or less of a pass, over to Shoreswater, back to Deininger at the right side point. Deininger back to Shoreswater, the right side faceoff dot. Puck down low to Merja. Back out left side point to Selwyn, who had a little bit of trouble getting that puck initially. Now gets it back out behind the net to Deininger. Deininger up in the play, looking to center to Scott. Passes off the mark at the line. Shoreswater can't keep. It's going to lead for a break going the other way to George Mason. George Mason in on goal, trying to get the pass across. They do the shot, and it just goes wide. They had an open lane. He just missed it going the other way. Now, puck comes free along the right side. Shoreswater taking hard into the boards a little bit. Still has the puck. It's loose along the boards. Now at the end of the zone, George Mason will touch up. George Mason across, looking to hit their winger in stride. The puck passes off the mark, but they touch up and float this puck in on David Zapp, who will leave it for his defenseman, Cole Mulcahy. About 17:50 remaining here in the first period. Combs gets the puck at the right side. Combs trying to shoot it into the zone. He does on the second attempt and chases after it. Will Brunner will get there first. Brunner has it. He lost it. Knocks the man down with a hard hit. And Combs gets the puck along the half ball at the left side. Combs trying to keep it into the zone. He will. George Mason will get the possession of the puck and go D-to-D. Henry stepping up in the play, getting a bit of a physicality play in with the hit. The puck will go all the way back down behind the Catholic goal. Mulcahy looking to go across to Henry. A little bit of a troublesome pass as Henry had trouble with it, getting hit behind the net. Bodied several times and couldn't come away with the puck. George Mason now has it. They lost it as Combs with a nice forechecking play gets the puck free to Mulcahy. He was able to clear high in the air. Looking for it was Combs. He couldn't come away with the puck. Now with some speed. I believe it's Aiden Sullivan, number 2, has the puck. He ripped it in on goal and missed it just wide. The left side point. Good play by the George Mason defense to keep it in and eat a hit from Connor Combs. Bouncing puck taken away by Johnson with some speed. Johnson has room. Johnson trying to get around the defense, but he overskates the puck, and George Mason will come away with it, going the other way. Trying to find the long pass ahead. Deininger gets there first. Plays it over to McQueenie. McQueenie has it and looks to gain some room. Oh, nice fake. I don't know if he did it intentionally to get it around the defenseman, but he has the puck again now behind the net. Now he loses track of it. Finnegan trying to hunt it down for the Cardinals. Selwyn floats this in on goal. Tried to, it was blocked. Back to Selwyn. Again, he shoots it. That's also wide. Now back behind the goal. Deininger couldn't keep that puck in. It's going to roll all the way down for icing on George Mason. 16:14 remaining here in the first period. So we'll do our best with the clock. It's a one-man show on the broadcast tonight. Moving the clock and the camera. We'll do our best, so listen for the time. Don't always look on the board for the clock. So Nolan Scott in to take the draw for CUA. Draw coming up to the left of Korolev. Didn't win it cleanly with Scott. It's still loose in the zone and now out of the zone as Henry will get to it at the right side, trying to keep it in his peripheral. He's got the puck again. Passes across to Merja. Merja's got it. Gonna float this in with a cross-corner dump, hoping for Shoreswater. Shoreswater hoping for it off the bounce, couldn't get it. Now he does. Shoreswater, nice pass to Henry, who fires it in on goal, looking for the deflection. Save made, rebound, they score! It's Frankie Merja, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Oh, the shot from the point by Henry. Merja in the right spot, ready to pop home the rebound. It's 1-0 Cardinals. Just under 4 minutes here to go, or so far gone by in the first period. Oh, Frankie Merja's first goal of the year. Joey Henry will pick up the assist with the shot from the right side point. Nice play. Now off the draw. Merja's got it again. Merja going to dump this puck into the zone. Behind the goal it goes. Shoreswater looking to pick it up. Shoreswater has it. Now back at the point as it was knocked away from Shoreswater to Mulcahy. Behind the goal, Nolan Scott has it now. Scott, senior second-year player for the Catholic Cardinals. Had the puck, gets it over to Shoreswater. He has it, back to Henry again. Henry up in the play, lets the shot go. And it's deflected into the safety netting, or over the safety netting, into the far boards. But an early goal for the Cardinals, and something they struggled with a lot last season was scoring first. At that time, though, Frankie Merja, first goal of the year, leading the way by example as he's wearing an A this year for the Catholic Cardinals. So 15-15 remaining here in the first period. Rebound was loose. Korolev couldn't corral it. As a result, back in the net for Catholic. They lead 1-0. The right side point, Donier was hoping to play it in off a bouncing puck. Weidenkamp has it. Calmly plays it over to Combs. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Weidenkamp has it again, trying to clear the zone. He will, but George Mason will retain possession of it. Now, Simonson up in the play, trying to get the puck back and take the man into the boards. Puck is still loose. George Mason onsides, now offsides. Picked up by Brunners. He's chasing after it. Knocked away again. Simonson again had a look, but that was poked off his stick. Weidenkamp will shoot this puck in. He wasn't over the red line, though. Referee says didn't matter. It's no icing. 14:38 remaining here in the first period. With open room, here's Aiden Sullivan for George Mason, looking to find the home run pass. It's off the mark. Weidenkamp will beat it. Icing again on George Mason. So 1-0 Catholic early on, and good pressure so far from the Cardinals as well. George Mason battling back. It's been a bit physical early on. We'll wait and see if we'll have more of that coming later in this game. As off the draw to the left of Korolev, it was a bit of a battle in the offensive zone, now taken away by George Mason. Weidenkamp with a poor play. There's a shot by George Mason. It goes over the goal. Lucky now bouncing back in front potentially and taken away by Catholic, trying to clear the zone. A Weidenkamp fan trying to clear that puck. Now again, there's a shot taken by George Mason. It's blocked off with the defender's stick. I believe it was Jackson Deininger. So Combs gets it. It's hard into the boards. Falls down. Deininger with the puck again with open room. Skates away with it. Deininger trying to find the man. Open man. It was Simonson. He had it and lost it off the bounce. And taking it away again is George Mason. Now floating it back down the other way there. We're going for a change. Catholic got fresh players out first. So they'll touch up. Henry. Across to Mulcahy. Mulcahy waits. Back across to Henry as they play catch. Finnegan has it and looks to find Johnson, but the pass was too slow. George Mason broke it up at center. As they had the puck in the zone, once again they lost it. Mulcahy has the puck again behind his goal, looking to start up. 13:20 remaining here in the first period. Mulcahy looking just to clear the zone, hoping for a bounce, hoping for Finnegan or McQueenie. Nonetheless, neither player will get it. George Mason dumps it in. Johnson across over to Henry one more time. Henry back to his partner. And over to McQueenie at the right side boards. McQueenie cuts in. Pass across to Henry, the defenseman up in the play. 3-on-2, 4-on-2 maybe. Here's Henry. Henry to the outside looking to find the pass. In front, open for McQueenie. Save, rebound. Oh, nice save by Korolev with the pad down. Johnson back behind the net looking for McQueenie. McQueenie has it. Bumped along the boards. Needs some help from Finnegan. Now Finnegan comes in and gets the message. Finnegan still battling for that puck. George Mason will come away with this. Finnegan takes the man hard into the boards, but George Mason still comes away with the puck and moving well. Here they come. George Mason 3-on-2 the other way. As they have it, trying to get around the defense of Mulcahy. They wait, they drop it in front. Pass goes across to the far side, a shot. Save made by David Zapp, and he covers. Wild sequence going both ends of the ice. Catholic with some good chances, good saves from Korolev, and some good saves from David Zapp on the other end. So draw coming up to the right of David Zapp. It was won by George Mason, or Catholic, and George Mason pressing the issue behind the goal. Looking to start up going the other way was Deininger. Intercepted. There's a shot taken on David Zapp. He holds his post and makes the save. Again, loose back behind the goal. Players battling for it. Scott battling for it, comes away with the puck. Scott at the right side, hoping for Shoreswater. Sidesteps a check. Here he comes. Still has the puck, lugs onto it, and floats it into the zone. Shoreswater now chasing the puck. He dumped in at the point. Mulcahy has it, or excuse me, Selwyn. Indirectly goes to the goaltender. Rebound, it kicks off Merja off his skate. They're going to say no goal. It hit off his skate, and it's a bit of a kicking motion. I'm not too sure if it was a kick or not. Nonetheless, that's not going to count. Could have been Merja's second of the period. But an automatic whistle as it hit off the skate into the net. The referee saw it as a kick, and that'll stand that way. I don't see much argument from the Cardinals bench, so I'll have to agree that was the right call. They're also going to move this face-off back out to the neutral zone. As it sometimes can be the case when there's a disallowed goal. So here's Nolan Scott has it, won the draw in the neutral zone, the shot taken. Back loose behind the goal, Merja trying to battle for that puck. George Mason will come away with it over to Mulcahy. Mulcahy has it now at the left side. Over to Shoreswater. Shoreswater has it center, looking for Merja. He's got it. Merja takes the shot. Save. Rebound was loose in front and kicked away by George Mason's defense. It's a big hit by Nolan Scott. Knocks the man hard to the ice. Cardinals still have it, though. Shoreswater across over to Mulcahy. Back over to Joey Henry. Up in the play again. Merja still has it. Merja now in over the line at the right side. He waits. Backhander through the crease. Now across the ice indirectly to Shoreswater. Brunner trying to get that puck. He's got it now after he took a bit of a check. Brunner had it again and he lost it. Now loose in the slot. George Mason comes away with it, trying to clear the zone. Combs some good forechecking, prevents that from happening. Now Aiden Sullivan across over to the open man at the left wing. Henry can't get the check. Here comes George Mason in on goal. They fire the shot. Big hit by Mulcahy, knocking the man down and knocking the puck away. Clean play, a nice play to help out your defensive partner. At the left side point, nice play from George Mason. It was number 74, Joseph Warkle, keeping that puck in. Combs has it now. Finds the open man, Simonson, who sidesteps a check. Gets low. Now he takes a man down hard into the boards. Puck is still loose at the line. Simonson still fighting for it. And now cleared out of the zone. Over to Joey Henry. Henry tried to push it ahead, hoping for Simonson. Neither was back in time. Now puck back into the Cardinals' end. Mulcahy has it with some open room. Mulcahy now with some speed now. Mulcahy has it. Tries to get around the defense. He cuts in on goal. Back behind the net looking to put it in front. It's loose. Again, the shot. Save made. Korolev. Rebound loose. Back to Johnson. Nice save off the blocker by Korolev. Seeing it all the way. Puck into the corner. Now out to center. Deininger has it. 9:40 remaining here in the first. Deininger at the right side point. Trying to clear the zone. He will, but only to the edge of the neutral zone and now back behind the Catholic goal. David Zapp sets it up for Jackson Deininger. Hoping for Finnegan, who has the puck in his feet. Tried to kick it forward, leaves it for McQueenie. He can't get a clean look at it, and George Mason will come away with it, but only to center to Deininger. Deininger with open speed and lots of room. Gets around one. Deininger trying to put it on goal. Nice defensive stick to lift the shot of Deininger at the last second. Still loose again at the right side point. McQueenie filling in for Deininger at the point. Plays it over to Johnson. He just floated this one behind the goal. Puck's still loose again. Deininger has it at the point. Took the shot now down low. Korolev with another save. Off the pads, it seemed like. Loose in the slot. Finnegan plays it back down low. Johnson has it looking in front. Blindly plays it for McQueenie. Bounces to Finnegan. He couldn't get the puck to bounce or settle down in time. And going the other way now. Here's George Mason. 2-on-1, maybe 3. 2-on-1 going the other way, but they're offsides. Well, it seemed like George Mason's biggest chance so far. They're a little over anxious, I guess, at that. Cardinals still up 1-0 here in a game where they have dominated the pace of play early on. Again, any questions regarding tonight's game, feel free to put them in the YouTube chat. When I have a second, I'll take a look and give my insight. The puck loose at center. Shoreswater pokes it free, trying to get around the defense of Sullivan. Shoreswater has it. Whips the shot, or more or less a pass over to Merja. Too hot to handle. Goes through Merja over to the right side boards where players whack away at it. Shoreswater comes away with it free. Takes the shot. The save made. Rebound loses. Selwyn a quick shot behind the net. It was just wide. Again, trying to clear was Warkall at the left side point. Selwyn has the puck in his feet, diving for it, trying to keep it in any way he can. And puck comes away with it. Scott able to help out Selwyn. And George Mason had to wait for Catholic to touch up. As a result, they'll move the puck out to center. Trying to get the puck free. In on goal. Here they come. Getting back in time was Frankie Merja to lift the stick of George Mason. Nice play by the Catholic Cardinals. Now, Selwyn trying to clear to Merja. Pass ahead, gets it across to Shoreswater, had some players to deal with, gets the red line and dumps it in. 7:40 remaining here in a fast-moving first period. Warclaw behind his net, waiting for some open players. Combs pressing the issue now. George Mason across their man at center ice, the man in the middle. That's off the mark, though, with that pass, and Henry will regroup. Henry behind the goal to Mulcahy. Mulcahy has it, floats it high, hoping for Simonson. That'll allow George Mason to touch up. As a result, Catholic get this puck back over to Mulcahy. Plays it over to his defensive partner, Joey Henry. Across over to Brunner. Puck was out of his reach as players battle for it. That's going to be a deflection into the bench 7:05 remaining here in the first period. So this will lead to an ozone draw to the right of Korolev. Will Brunner in to take the draw, the winger Simonson and Combs. They've had some good chemistry so far in this game as Combs puts a backhander on goal, just goes wide of the net. Back behind the goal again, Brunner trying to get around the passes of George Mason to intercept the puck. George Mason sees it and is able to clear. Just to center though, Combs will play it back to Mulcahy. Mulcahy up the left side wall to Simonson, who has the puck, floats it in on goal. Save made. Oh, it went through the legs of Korolev, but he still made the save. Didn't get burned, but it was close. Behind the goal again, Combs has it, tried to get to it. It'll roll to Henry. He's going to take a bit of a hit, but get the puck back to Combs. Combs couldn't handle it. Up in the play was Simonson, but he overskated the puck. And going the other way now is George Mason. They're onside, so they're trying to find the man in the middle. He has a roll to David Zapp, who will hold on for a easy save. At 6:20 remaining here in the first period. A lot of fans here for George Mason cheering on their Patriots. And some CUA fans showing up as well. So a decent crowd that turned out for someone with a quick mouth saying there wasn't many people here. Nonetheless, defensive zone draw coming up for the Cardinals. The captain, Brendan Johnson, able to win it back to Selwyn. Across over to Matthew McQueenie at the right side. He's going to take a big of a hit from behind. And play will continue. I don't think McQueenie liked that hit. Had a concussion from a similar hit last season. Debatable. I don't know if he was technically facing the boards or not. It was close, but nonetheless, play will continue. Here comes George Mason at the left side. Sullivan up in the play. Sullivan trying to get around the defense of Deininger. Sullivan still lugs onto the puck. Back out to Warcall at the point, looking for the deflection. It was blocked. McQueenie had it. Puck rolled away from him. Finnegan to McQueenie. McQueenie still battling for it. Gets it ahead to Finnegan. That's out of his reach. Couldn't clear, though. Johnson ready for the puck. Cuts in on goal. Puck was knocked off his stick. Going across. Here comes George Mason with some open space as they wait, they hold, and fired in on David Zapp. It was knocked away. Still loose. In at the right side point. Here's a play to push it back behind the net by Sullivan. Selwyn will get to it. Warcall will get to it. McQueenie trying to knock the man into the boards. Not too much of a succeeding effort that time as George Mason will still have the puck. Nice play by Finnegan to sniff out if he was gonna pass or shoot at the point, but still couldn't clear the zone was Catholic. Johnson behind the net again, has it at the right side. Johnson with some space now, trying to get himself free. Has it, he's all by himself, gonna try and float it in on goal, just wide of the net with under 5 to go here in the first period. Sullivan's still out there playing for George Mason. He's got a lot of minutes so far. And causing the turnover was Merja. Now Schwarzwater shoots, and the save made by Korolev. Rebound still loose. Merja has it. That goes just wide of the net. Oh, nice offensive play by Merja to get it to Sullivan, or Schwarzwater. And now we've got a penalty here. Interference. I think this is on Catholic. Have to wait and see who took the penalty. I think it was Merja. Kind of missed it. Maybe it was close to the puck, but he didn't have it. Nonetheless, Frankie Merja has a goal, and now he's got 2 penalty minutes. He'll sit 2 minutes for interference. So 4:35 to go here in the first period. In a period where Catholic has had a majority of the chances. George Mason's got some legs, though. You can see it. They're pushing back, and now they've got a power play. Let's see if the Pangborn penalty kill can come 1 for 1 tonight. Didn't do too well last game. Now, on the power play. George Mason has it, though. Shoot it in on goal. Big save from David Zapp. I'm not even sure if he saw it, though, as he was screened. Now a one-timer from the point. That's blocked or partly fanned on. Still loose. Here's another shot on Zapp. That goes wide of the goal. 4:18 remaining here in the first. George Mason still with possession of it. Now loose at the right side. Back out again. Here's a shot on David Zapp. Blocker save. Puck will come free to Schwarzwater. He's just going to clear this one all the way down to the right side of Korolev. And GMU will have to restart. Dropping the puck off. Here comes George Mason now finding the open man at center. Number 15, Raj Vats. Going to shoot this one in on goal. It was blocked by Mulcahy. Mulcahy will shoot this back down the other way to where Schwarzwater was waiting for it to find for a shorthanded rush. But George Mason sniffs it out and tries to clear. They still can't now as Vats tries to get to it for GMU. Shoreswater will instead and just shoot this puck back into the zone. About a minute to go on the Merja Minor for 2 minutes. Now, loose puck intercepted by McQueenie. Has it at the right side. McQueenie now with space. Has it. He waits. He holds, and now behind the net looking to cut in front, or maybe just kill time off the penalty. Decides to put it by the side of the George Mason goal. Picked up by George Mason. And dumps back behind the Catholic goal where David Zapp will leave it for Mulcahy. 30 seconds to go. George Mason's going for a change here. I don't know if they see Mulcahy roaring through center. Here he comes. Mulcahy waits, settles down the puck. He shoots and hits the outside of the goal. Another shot taken. That went just wide. 20 seconds to go on the George Mason power play. Had some good looks early. Nonetheless, Catholic's done a good job killing it off so far. Still 15 seconds to go. At the left side, Johnson bodies the man in the corner. Still loose, coming away with it. Now the pass down low. Looking in front is George Mason. As they wait, they hold it. Puck comes free again to Johnson. Johnson had it. He lost it. Penalties up at the left side point. Aiden Sullivan has it again. The assistant captain waits. Pass down low to the left side again. Looking in front. Looking to take a shot now. Skates the width of the ice, per se. And now drops it across. 2 minutes to go here in the first period. George Mason now with some good puck movement as they're going to call, I think, another penalty here. And Mulcahy's going to go to the box. I didn't see what the penalty was. I believe it was away from the play. Mulcahy's going to sit here 2 minutes and wait for the signal. I'm going to be honest, I missed it completely what the penalty could be here. If we get a signal, maybe the referee made it. No, just happened to miss it. We'll take our best guess and we'll call it roughing for 2 minutes on Mulcahy. So 2:18 remaining here in the first period. Another power play for George Mason. So Catholic taking penalties that kind of doomed them at the end of the first period last game against George Washington. But good play from Scott to get it to Shoreswater shorthanded. Shoreswater has it. Elects to dump it behind the goal and hope for George Mason to make them start again. George Mason, right side. Shoreswater bumps the man off the puck and comes away with it. Drops it, or tried to drop it across puck. Pass was into the middle. Shoreswater got it again off the redirect and shot it into the safety netting. And yes, it wasn't deflected. Would that be a penalty in some leagues? It would be. This isn't exactly the NHL. There's a little bit of leeway. And Shoreswater will get away scratch-free. So 1:30 remaining on the Mulcahy Minor. We'll call it for roughing. Draw to the right of David Zapp. And in on the draw is Nolan Scott. Scott gets it back behind to Deininger and then flip this one all the way down, much to Catholic's pleasure. 1:20 remaining here in the penalty to Mulcahy. 1:35 remaining in the first period. So Catholic looking to keep the 1-0 lead intact after one. The puck was in the referee's skates. Warclaw comes away with it, passes it across to number 3, Ronan Veloso. Shoreswater up in the play again, causing issues for George Mason. Now gets the puck back to Selwyn indirectly, but he falls and turns it over. In on goal with George Mason. The shot and a save made by David Zapp. I believe he got a piece. Still with the puck now. Here's a shot from the point again. Save made by Zapp. Rebound loose. In the crease. It's loose again. And they just can't stuff it home. That was close. Still at the point. Warcall has it at the left side. Controls play. Pass across to Sullivan. They'll step into it. Take the shot. Save made Zapp. Puck behind the net. Loose. Picked up by Scott. Trying to clear. He can't. Under a minute to go in the first. Warcall a shot. Just goes wide. Rebound out the other side. George Mason tried to tuck it home, but they weren't there to shoot in that puck. Scott still can't clear. At the line. George Mason plays it back down low. Now at the left side point again. Warcall steps into a shot. Blocked again. Rebound loose. Warcall has it. He shoots. He scores. Ties the game at 1. Crazy play. Catholic couldn't clear. As a result, power play goal for George Mason. It's tied up at 1. Looked like David Zapp was screened on that play. He kind of put his glove up, but couldn't really find that puck nonetheless. And as a result, it leads to a power play goal. George Mason, they got a shorter bench than Catholic, but they play hard. Every single time we play against this team, they do a great job. Got to give them credit where it's due. 1-1 with 31 seconds to go here in the first period. So McQueenie has it. Going to try and float it past the defenseman. He couldn't that time. It wasn't hard enough. And GMU going the other way has it at the left side. Catholic's now trying to stay in this game and go out of the period tied. In a period where they mainly dominated. It was only 1-0, now tied up. McQueenie has it at the right side with some space. McQueenie cutting to the perimeter. Drops it to Finnegan. Finnegan waits. Pass across to Johnson, had the right idea. Didn't see the defender right in his face. There's a long shot by GMU in on goal. David Zapp will redirect to the corner. And that's where we stand after 1 period of play. 1-1 after 1. We'll be back to discuss the first period and all of its all of its interesting plays and goals and penalties. We'll be back to discuss it in just a bit. Thanks for tuning in on WCUA. We'll be back. First period intermission is next. And welcome back to the first period intermission report. Catholic tied 1-1 after one period of play. Let's briefly talk about the goals and the penalties. So Frankie Merja scored the first goal of the game. It was a rebound that came from a point shot by Joey Henry at the right side point. Henry made a nice play to get it around or step up in the play. I think the puck actually came from the point or from behind the net. Henry was up at the point, ready to shoot, shot it on goal. First save was actually made by the goaltender Korolev, and then the rebound was loose, and Merja put a backhander into the top of the net. That made it 1-0. And then later on, a couple minutes later, Frankie Merja would take an interference penalty, which I kind of missed, but referees called 2 minutes for interference. And then Cole Mulcahy took a roughing penalty, so my guess was right. And those were back-to-back penalties that kind of hurt Catholic in a way. That actually led to George Mason getting the tying goal. Joseph Workhall scored the tying goal. It was basically his third shot attempt of the power play. Two of them got blocked. Third one found the back of the net. And David Zapp was screened, didn't have much of a chance to get that one. Shots were 12-8 in favor of the Catholic Cardinals. They looked like the better team. They're more physical. They look good. And goaltending-wise, I thought Korolev looked a little shaky at first, with up some rebounds and whatnot. And he actually got better as the period went on. Good for him, because this is his first game of the year and actually going to make it harder for Catholic. David Zapp had some good saves too, but I didn't feel like he was necessarily tested as much as we thought he was. So second period just about underway here in Fort Washington at Tucker Road Ice Rink. Catholic looking to find some more goals here in the second period and find a way to take control of this game. So in to take the center zone face-off, Brendan Johnson for Catholic and Ronan Valususo. I always say his name for George Mason University. Sorry if I got that incorrect. So as we wait for him to take his crease, goaltenders are ready to go, and we have puck drop to start the second period. Draw was won by Brendan Johnson. Cole Mulcahy quickly to Joey Henry, over to McQueenie, who will shoot this puck into the zone. So same starting lineup for Catholic to start the second period. Johnson tried to get that puck behind the net. He couldn't. Over to Mulcahy. He's got it as he waits. He holds, almost misplayed it. Now gets it across to Finnegan, who's taking a bit of a hit into the boards. Puck loose, taken away by Valususo. Yes, Valususo. And now played into the bench area. So 27 seconds gone by in the second period. Of course, any questions regarding tonight's game, feel free to put them in the chat. This draw will come back to the neutral zone. Nolan Scott in to take the draw for CUA. And Keegan Heim in to take the draw for GMU. Won by Scott, gets it across to Selwyn, up ahead to Shoreswater. Pass was indirectly off the mark. Going for the home run pass was GMU, but blocked, and now Shoreswater shot deflects into the safety netting with 43 seconds gone by in the second period. So draw coming up to the left of Korolev, the native of Moscow. I want to say that correctly. I believe it was Moscow, Russia. It's pretty interesting. You don't see that too often here in this league. Goalies coming over from different countries, but good for him. Now Merja, quick shot off the draw. Save made off the right pad of Korolev. Selwyn with an indirect pass to Merja. Gets it to Shoreswater. Scott was calling for it. Shoreswater didn't see him. Now Shoreswater plays it behind the net, hoping for Merja. He's got it as he waits. He holds, looking for the pass back to Selwyn off the one-timer. It was partly blocked, where he fanned on the shot with Selwyn. Now Selwyn up in the play. Prevents that clear and attempt from fully getting there. Now a misplay behind the net. Catholic's defense having to help out David Zapp to prevent that puck from going in front. Puck loose now in the slot. Dinier trying to clear. Now it goes ahead to Shoreswater, who's bumped. Still loose, and now in on sides is GMU trying to get around the play or the stick of Selwyn. Selwyn trying to keep it on the outside. Knocks the man down. I believe he may have wanted the penalty, but he kind of fell on his own. It's Shoreswater coming away with it with a burst of speed. Shoreswater ahead of the pack. He waits, fires it, and it's deflected into the safety netting. Great defensive play from GMU. I just wanted to check on that, where he's from, that goaltender, by the way, Timothy Korolev, Moscow, Russia. Interesting little tidbit for you. But yeah, good play It's 2 shots by Catholic in this first period. One by, I believe, Merja and the other by Shoreswater, both deflected out of play. So good sticks getting back defensively for GMU. Loose off the draw at center. Here's a shot take at the right side. Dot save made by Korolev. Combs behind the net, looking in front. The shot, and I believe it was blocked. Loose behind the net. Brunner's got it, looking in front for Combs. Loose in the crease. Ducked up by Simonson. Save made. Rebound. He scores. It's Will Brunner off the rebound. 2-1 Cardinals early in the second period. Will Brunner picking up the loose change in front, set up by Blake Simonson. That's his first collegiate point. Congratulations to the young man. Nice play by Brunner up in the play. That line is clicking so far. 2-1 Cardinals early on in the second period. Off the draw at center. We'll discuss the goal in a moment, more or less, as we have when we have our next whistle. Center zone draw, won by Catholic. Now across to Brunner. Brunner has it. Drops it to Combs. Blind pass looking for the slot. Intercepted by George Mason. Still loose. Combs takes the man hard into the boards. Brunner did. And now clearing the zone is George Mason. And with some time is Mulcahy, but he's running out of time as George Mason looks to press the issue. Cole Mulcahy behind the net looking for Henry. Henry, long feed for McQueenie. It's going to go for no icing as Finnegan will get to it. Johnson now tried to get it from Finnegan. It was blocked. Picked up by Suso, I believe. And now taken away again by Johnson. Johnson has it at the right side into the slot. Finnegan took it, and it was just wide. Again, Mulcahy battling for the puck as sticks come up. Puck now back behind the goal. McQueenie looking to get to it. Finnegan will get there instead. Take a bit of a hit, but he got the pass to McQueenie. Looking for, I believe, Mulcahy, but intercepted by his own man, Finnegan. Finnegan has it the right side, back down low left side to Johnson at the half wall. Johnson now trying to shake himself free, trying to get it to McQueenie. McQueenie had it. He lost it, and now picked up by George Mason, but turned over back to Johnson. Johnson, nice move, looking to cut in front, get the puck back. Shot indirectly in on goal. Save made, loose puck. Finnegan scores! It's Owen Finnegan. His first goal as a Cardinal, and it's 3-1 CUA. Just like that, 2 goals in rapid succession, and the Cardinals up by 2. So 2 of the freshmen now getting points. Blake Simonson and now Owen Finnegan. Puck bounced out off a rebound from Korolev. Finnegan was on the doorstep, puts it home, hits the celebration. And 3-1 Catholic, but the game far from over. Interesting. Referee talking to head coach Steven Terenzio. I'm not sure about what necessarily. Nonetheless, doesn't look like anything too crazy. 3-1 Cardinals, 16:25 remaining here in the second period. Now up by 2. First ever goal for Owen Finnegan. Congratulations to the young man. Back into the defensive end. Shoreswater plays it ahead, hoping for Nolan Scott, who was a little behind on that play. Now loose at center. Finnegan has, Merja has it. Drops it to Shoreswater. He waits, fires it in on goal. It's just wide. Weidenkamp has it, plays it down to Merja. It was partly blocked off the stick, but Catholic will still get to the puck. Shoreswater hoping for it. Still can't get to it. Loose. Merja takes a man hard into the boards with a big check. Puck loose at center. Picked up by GMU in the Catholic zone. Behind the net, Merja has it now. Merja left side as it came up to the half wall. Scott trying to play it ahead for Shoreswater. He does. Shoreswater has it. Rips the shot. Save made. Rebound loose off the right pad. And kicks away to the corner boards. The half wall boards. Shoreswater has it again at the right side. Circles in front. Fires it in on goal. Save made. Rebound again. A Korolev now leaving out a lot of rebounds. Actually led to the last 2 Catholic goals in a sense. Now, but ahead of the pack is GMU as they wait. They hold. They fired it off the crossbar. Loose again in the slot. Another shot in on David Zapp. Save made. Rebound loose. Bouncing around. Back out again. Catholic trying to come away with it. And Brunner trying to pressure it out of the zone. But GMU with a good stick to keep it in. Now out of the zone it goes. Up ahead on the play. Shoreswater takes the man hard into the boards. It's loose again. Brunner's got it. Brunner has it at the left side. Looking in front. Catholic was going for a change. And as a result, GMU with speed going the other way. Here they come, 2-on-2 as they wait, trying to get around the defense of Mulcahy, but he steps them up on the play, and Simonson now has it. Simonson hoping for Combs. Combs with the pass on the money from Simonson. Has it, stops on a dime at the half wall. He waits, holds, back down low to Simonson, looking for the tip, and the save made. And Simonson getting feisty, throwing some punches in front. May have gotten some thrown his way first. Nonetheless, third line looking good for Catholic. So draw coming up to the left of the goaltender Korolev. Puck loose at the left side of the goal. Players battling for it. Both players battle in the corner. Coming away with the puck is Brunner. Left side back to Mulcahy. Mulcahy's got it. Waits, fires it, looking for the deflection from Simonson. Couldn't get his stick down in time. The right side again. Henry up in the play. Brunner with a big hit behind the goal. Players still battling for that puck. GMU still has it and comes away with a Catholic really getting physical here. More in this second period. It's loose again, up in the play with a big hit by Henry. Puck was loose. GMU gets to it, or was shot back behind or by the Catholic players to GMU's net, where GMU will restart. Trying to clear the zone was Aiden Sullivan. The puck was knocked off his stick. Now trying to go the other way and try and clear the zone was GMU. They were able to do so, but just to center as Mulcahy up in the play keeps it back out of the zone. Now, long feed hoping for the open winger for George Mason. That pass was off the mark. Mulcahy has it over to Johnson at the left side. Johnson with room. Has it, gets around the defense, hoping to cut in on goal. Was knocked away. Johnson back to Finnegan. Finnegan now back behind the net, hoping for Johnson. McQueenie will pick up the loose puck. McQueenie back out to the right side point to Selwyn. Back over to Mulcahy. He waits with open room. Shot save Korolev. Rebound loose again. It's loose again. And maybe Korolev got a piece. I'm not sure. Nice diving save potentially. Now Mulcahy has it. He waits. Fires in on goal. Looking for the deflection in front. Penalty coming up here. We'll see who this is on. Could be high stick. I'm not sure who this one's on. We saw who. It looks like we have the guilty party. Ronan Valasuso ahead of the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. This is going to lead to a Catholic power play here. So power play unit coming out for Catholic, like we mentioned, 2 minutes for high sticking to Ronan Valasuso. And he was upset about that penalty. It was a lot of plays in front. From this angle, it was hard to see what the penalty was. I'm sure he just clipped one of the Catholic players. Nonetheless, Priz power play getting their first opportunity of the night, hoping to go 1-for-1. At the right side point, Mulcahy has it. Waits. Holds. Back to Deininger. Deininger steps into a shot. He scores! Jackson Deininger beating Korolev clean. 4-1. Power play goal. Deininger. First goal of the season. Quick shot in from the slot. One of his favorite spots to shoot, and I know this from experience, just playing against him in practice a little bit. Deininger loves to shoot 5-hole, and a spot where goaltenders do not like to get beat. Catholic made quick work on that power play, too. My goodness. 4-1 Cardinals. Jackson Deininger. As Catholic starting to open up the game here a little bit. Deininger's first of the season. Had about 4 goals last season, if I remember correctly. Really came as a big game player down the stretch, scoring some big goals, especially in the high point game. And here's a turnover defensively by Catholic. A shot on off David Zapp, and he makes the save with his face. Let's get the camera over there as well. Excuse me. Now, Merja has it. Drops it to Shoreswater. Shoreswater trying to get around the stick of George Mason. He doesn't get the puck away. Now it's back in the defensive end. Henry across over to Mulcahy. Mulcahy over to Merja with the pass. He drops it to Shoreswater. Shoreswater's got it. He waits. Drops it to Scott. Scott in the slot. Shot. Blocked in front. Loose in the slot. It was high in the air. Another shot, wraparound try by Scott. That was off the mark. Catholic still battling for it. They have possession. Merja, another shot in on goal. Korolev with the save. This time, no rebound. So Catholic opening up the scoring magic here in the second period, something they haven't done a lot recently. I know it's only been one game. Even last season, they had a little bit of a trouble with that sometimes. Anyways, play continues. Here's Donier with a quick shot. That goes wide. Weidenkampf at the left side point lets it go. The save made by Korolev. Combs a quick shot. That was partly blocked. This puck's going to be high off the boards. But coming away with it is Simonson. Nice play to step up on the play, helping out his partner, or the teammate, which was Weidenkampf. Still loose again behind the goal. Combs looking in front as he waits. Plays it over to Brunner. Oh, and what a save. Where is it? Goaltender's got it. What a save by Korolev. He gets across. It was on the line. Brunner had a whack at it, and Korolev said, not today. Nice save from the goaltender. My goodness, getting across. Wow. I think Brunner didn't quite get the handle on it that he wanted to. You know, he had a quick shot. It was on his stick. He kind of fanned on it. Korolev said, you know what? I deserve a bit of a break. I'm going to jump on this puck. And he did. Puck was on the line. And he gets a save that time. My goodness. Big save from Korolev to keep it a 4-1 game. So draw coming up to the right of Korolev. Won by George Mason. Pressure immediately off the draw from Will Brunner. He's like a bull in a china shot tonight, isn't he? My goodness. A goal, couple hits on the doorstep again for another goal. Anyways, play will continue here. As at the point, Weidenkampf tries to keep it in. He's able to keep it in and now push it back down low. Nice play from the Weidenkampf. You know, hasn't played hockey, I believe, in a couple of seasons. Like, I think 3 or 4 years. And nonetheless, making plays in his second ever Catholic game. Simonson trying to press the issue here. It's knocked away again. Back to Weidenkampf. Has it. Tried to push it up to the right side boards to McQueenie. Had to glove it down. I think they're going to say this was a hand pass, and it was. So play will stop. It'll be a neutral zone draw with 10:37 remaining here in the second period. Just about the halfway time point of this game. The puck's still loose. Excuse me. Face-off coming up here. Not the puck still loose. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Won by Brendan Johnson. Plays it to McQueenie at the left side boards. McQueenie has it. Stops on a dime. Looks in front. Puck was partly blocked, I believe, by Johnson by his leg. I don't think he saw it. Nonetheless, back out of the right side point. Deininger a shot. Deflected in on goal. Save made by Korolev. Rebound again loose. And knocked away by the goaltender. Puck was still loose at the right side, still loose in the slot. GMU will come away with it clear just to Weidenkampf, who plays it calmly to the boards. Still loose. GMU, if they could get the puck going, trying to go the other way. Nice play by McQueenie to partly knock the puck off the stick and gets it free to Finnegan. Finnegan has it now, and he's offsides, as seen by the linesman. Got 9:56 remaining here in the second period. Catholic up by 3 goals at the halfway point of this game. Catholic looking to continue their dominant play here in the second period. George Mason, not much response here, but still time to go. Now, ahead of the pack was George Mason for a potential rush, but the pass was piss poor in a sense and taken away by Catholic. Puck was loose off the pad and now taken away by GMU, trying to clear Henry up in the play, prevents that from happening. Now he doesn't. Going the other way now, 3-on-1. They're onside. Here comes George Mason. Getting back in time was Henry to break up the rush. Still loose, trying to calm it down as they wait. They'll put this puck back behind the Catholic goal. Big hit by Mulcahy to separate man from puck. Puck rolls to David Zappin. He'll calmly cover with 9:18 remaining here in the second period. You know, going back to that 5-hole goal where we have a second, and he beat the goaltender clean. That was just a quick, hard shot, just low. It's not often you see shots from defensemen just low like that, just pretty much along the ice, but goaltender wasn't ready as a result. Back in the net. And on that play there, Catholic's defense almost wasn't ready. It was a quick play off the draw. Fending on the shot was GMU. As a result, oh man, McQueenie takes a hard, clean hit. GMU with a bit of pushback here. Now Johnson falls down. Here comes McQueenie. He's knocked down again. Johnson behind the net trying to get the puck. Finnegan didn't like the hit. There's a big hit. Now Johnson, another hit. off of Manny. Didn't have the puck. Could have been interference on Catholic, but GMU now showing some pushback to the outside. Looking to go in front. The shot. Rebound was loose. Couldn't find the puck with GMU. Now at the right side again. Mulcahy trying to get the puck around the defense. He will. Floats it for Shoreswater. Has it at the right side. Getting around the defense. He's got it. Shoreswater waits. Holds. He fires it. Save made. Rebound. Or puck was behind the net. I think Korolev got a piece of it. It squeezed back behind him, behind the goal. Now it's going to be icing here with 8:22 remaining here in the second period. So more stoppages in the second period. Going a little bit longer than we had seen the first period go, in a sense. It seemed like at this point there was only 3 minutes remaining here in the first. The Catholic enjoying the 4-1 lead, and as is the rest of their fans here in the crowd tonight. Draw to the left of Korolev. He's made some good saves, but at the same time, he's left some big, juicy rebounds out, and Catholic has been like vultures around the front of that crease. 4-1. Off the draw. Bit of a tie-up. Catholic will get to it. Shoreswater has it. He waits. Floats it to Merja. Merja waits. Looks for the open man. Nice spin move to try and get himself free. Merja over to Shoreswater. He's got it. Waits. Fires it in on goal. Korolev the shot with the glove save, but couldn't catch it. Couldn't catch it and couldn't get the whistle. Play will continue. Selwyn. Left side to Merja. Merja's got it. Going to float it back behind the goal, hoping for Nolan Scott or Shoreswater. Scott will not get to it. Shoreswater will. He was hoping for Scott, but Scott is going away from where the puck was. But still can't clear is GMU. Shoreswater, another shot. Save made off the right pad by Korolev. Selwyn up in the play, trying to keep the momentum going. And falling down with GMU. Loose again was the puck in the Catholic zone, but Catholic getting back in time all over this puck. Catholic will calmly get to it and play it ahead to Scott. Scott's got Shoreswater and Merja with him. Scott fires it. Save made off the helmet of Korolev. Rebound loose. Merja trying to play to the corner. Merja's got it. Being bodied by a few players. Puck comes free to Shoreswater. Shoreswater cutting in front. Shoots, and a save made by Korolev with a blocker. Rebound, a nice pass from Merja. Korolev down. Puck still loose. Merja has it. He waits, holds, puts it back behind the goal, hoping for Shoreswater. He can't get to it. Sullivan will for GMU. Takes a hit, but makes the play. Gets it over to the other side defenseman, and he was bodied off the puck. As they try to go back to the right side again. Catholic still up in the play. Nice play by Selwyn to keep the puck in. Now a backhander shot on goal. Save made Korolev. Left side, puck's in a roll all the way down. It will not be icing, so Catholic will have to touch up. Okay, he wonders why as he puts his hands up. Okay, he has it. Long feed hoping for Brunner. Out of his reach, Warcall said, I'll take that puck back, but only to center as Catholic will once again get the puck. Mulcahy has it one more time. 6:20 remaining here in the second. Mulcahy has it, floats it over to Simonson. Simonson's got it, waits, holds, drops it for Combs. Into the slot, off the mark though, and Catholic will not come away with it. GMU now has it. Nice play by Simonson to get the puck back again. Simonson's going to take a bit of a hit, fall to his knees, get right back up though, but GMU has the puck with under 6 to go in the second. Now, Mulcahy steps into a check. Loose again along the boards. Moved ahead by George Mason. In on side, so they have the puck. Trying to get around the defense of Henry. Henry keeps it to the perimeter, though. And the pass will go miles away. Here's a diving block by Cole Mulcahy. Oh, he's feeling that one, you can tell. Putting the body on the line. Doesn't matter what the score is. Catholic's playing hard. Still loose behind the net. Catholic trying to clear. One-timer from GMU. Partly blocked into the corner. Now with possession of it at the right side point. GMU floats it back down low to the left side half wall. Back into the slot, Warcall. He's looking for two. Has the puck. Falls down. I think he blew out his... Oh, man, he's hurt. He hurt his knee. He can't get up. I'm not sure what happened there, but slowly getting up. Referee looking to see if he'll blow the whistle, play dead. He's not. I mean, they can't even go on sides here as Warcall's hurt, man. He may have took a knee-on-knee of some sort. Offsides and now onsides with Catholic roaring ahead. Henry, a crossover to Finnegan. Puck was out of his reach. And ahead to the winger, now knocked away again. In on sides is George Mason at the point. They tried a quick shot. It was blocked, picked up by Johnson. Johnson's got it going the other way. Johnson across to McQueenie, but the pass was too far and led McQueenie offsides. that's Joseph Warcall. And he's on the bench now. He looks like he's okay. I don't see the trainer coming to his attention. Maybe he just got a wind knocked out of him, but he was holding his leg like he couldn't get up, though. Referees weren't stopping the play. I mean, he had to get off the ice. He must have been well enough to do that, since it would have just been an automatic offsides call. Now the referee's talking something over at center ice. Maybe placement of the puck or a penalty or get something straight. I'm not too sure. Nonetheless, I'm not too sure. Referees, actually, they were deciding where to move the face-off that last play where it was offside. It should be at the blue line where the play was offsides, which is where it was moved to. No one skied off this draw. We got 4:25 remaining here in the second period. Shoreswater trying to settle down a bouncing puck. Deininger has it at the right point. Deininger waits, fires it. He scores! I'm not sure if that got deflected. It may have on its way through. 5-1 Cardinals. And I'm going to say, as right now, it's Deininger with 2. Put him on hat-trick watch. 5-1, 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Not sure if that got deflected. It was hard to say. Maybe it went off a knee. I think as of now it's Deininger, so he's got 2 on the night and back-to-back goals. Also beating, I think it beat him through the wickets again. And Deininger with not too much of a celly after that. I don't even think he thought he had the goal. Looked like it may have gotten deflected, but Catholic in control. 5-1. 4 minutes to go here in the second. It's been all Catholic here. I think George Mason may have 2 shots on goal, and not much in the second period. Not a showing here much from George Mason. I mean, Catholic's all over this game. Gotta wait and see how the third pans out. Here's another shot by Shoreswater. That goes wide of the goal as well. Sorry, we'll move the camera over. Here's Merja has it. Drops it for Scott. Now plays it back behind the goal, hoping for Merja as they both kind of went to the same spot. That allows George Mason to clear. Weidenkamp will skate this puck all the way down. It will not be icing. As Weidenkamp takes a hit, trying to free up the loose pucks. GMU in the slot. The shot, save made by David Zapp. Hasn't been busy much at all, but up to the task that time. He's getting around the check. Here comes Weidenkamp trying to clear. Gets the puck ahead. Still loose. Bodies fly. Puck comes free. One-on-one trying to get around the defense. Here's a shot taken. They score. Beats David Zapp over the blocker, or over his blocker that time. It's 5-2 with 3:11 to go here in the second period. So, interesting play. Weidenkamp jumped up in the play for Catholic. He kind of fell, dragged a man down with him. As a result, the other Catholic defenseman jumped up on the play with him to try and help him out. But one of them got back in time. Still, they got around the defense of the stick of Deininger, just ripped the shot over the glove of David Zapp. And as a result, 5-2. So Simonson now trying to get around the defense. Pokeshek coming from the goaltender. He may have gotten a stick on that as well. Here's Will Brunner. Pass across to Simonson. Couldn't get the stick down in time. Simonson battling for that puck. Over to Brunner. It's loose behind the goal. GMU will pick it up. And at the left side boards, they try and get it to their man, Ronan Velususo. He's able to clear, but only to the neutral zone and flipped back into the zone by Catholic. 2:30 to go here in the second period. And a bit of a pushback now from GMU. If they get another one before the second period ends, I'm not too sure. Might take a bit of the momentum switching from one side to the other. Here's Simonson going to float this in behind the goal. I believe he got a stick on it to prevent the icing potentially, but going the other way now is GMU. Joey Henry has it. Going to float this one out to Simonson. He couldn't get his stick down completely on it, and George Mason with room. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan gains the line. Has it, waits, fires it. It was blocked. Good play by Johnson to get back. Under 2 to go here in the second. Combs trying to get to it now as he's pestering the man with the puck. Actually frees up the puck. Good play from him and Simonson. Mulcahy's got it behind his goal. Forcing to come out of his shell behind the net, as he could have waited all the time in the world, but he had to move it. Mulcahy's got it now at the left side. Mulcahy waits, has room, fires it. The save made by Korolev off the left side pad. Now Finnegan fresh from the bench. Plays it back down low to Johnson. Johnson trying to sidestep around the man. He's got it. Johnson behind the goal. Looking in front to stuff it. Save made. Puck loose. Korolev had it. He lost it. Now, still loose again. They make George Mason trying to get around the defense of Finnegan. They get around him. They've got speed going the other way. 3-on-2. They drop the puck. For a drop pass, Finnegan actually got back to break it up, and Johnson now going the other way with a minute to go here in the second. Johnson tried to drop it to Cole Mulcahy. Kind of hit him with a bit of a reverse check. Puck still loose. Players battling on the boards. I'm not sure how they're asking how their grades or classes are going so far here in the first semester. Maybe they are. But the puck is still loose along the left side boards. At the point, McQueenie trying to keep it alive. He did for Johnson, though, but now going the other way was George Mason. They've got it at the right side. Trying to get around the defense. He's knocked down. Penalty coming up here. And I don't believe it's going to be a penalty shot. Didn't really have a break, but it's going to be, I believe that was a trip or a hold. Or slashing, excuse me, was the penalty. That's going to go on Brendan Johnson. I think it could have went on Henry or Johnson. But another late penalty on the Cardinals, and that's what led to another goal. I mean, George Mason's not out of this game. Catholic's got to keep their cool, and maybe the smart play there in the sense to prevent the winger from getting in all alone on David Zapp. Nonetheless, power play with 30 seconds to go here in the second. 30 to go, power play for George Mason. Here's a quick shot from the point. Blocked away. Deininger will clear. Getting on his horse to get back onto this puck is George Mason with 20 seconds to go here in the second period. George Mason with speed has the puck in on sides, trying to get something set up within 10 seconds, and it's loose. Stick breaks for Mulcahy or Selwyn. He's got to drop the stick. That's a penalty on Catholic. He's playing with a broken stick. He's got to drop it, though. This might be a penalty. Now on Catholic, yes, you got to see what it's going to be. Selwyn's holding a broken stick. That's a penalty on him. He's got to know to drop the stick. I think they called it. So period will end. This is going to be a 5-on-3, I believe, to start the period. And I'm not sure if Selwyn didn't know, but he's got to know to drop the stick. That's a penalty. You can't take that late in the period. Now you got a 5-on-3 to start the third. So a big second period for Catholic. As they're talking it over at the bench doors. This, I mean, Selwyn's going to hop in the box here. I mean, the period's over. I don't think he has to. But 5-2 in favor of Catholic University after 2 periods of play. 4 goals for Catholic, 1 for George Mason. We'll see what the third period has to bring. We'll have the second period intermission report in a few seconds here as both teams now is heading back to their locker rooms. We'll be back in a bit. And welcome back, everybody. Third period of action coming up in just a few seconds here. Catholic up 5-2 to start the third. Let's recap the second period briefly. Had 4 Catholic goals, 2 from Jackson Deininger, 1 from Will Brunner, and 1 from the freshman, number 2, Owen Finnegan. Now, Brunner finished off a great rebound play. Blake Simon set up that play. He took the shot, kind of put it into the spot where it hit the pads of Korolev, and Brunner was there for the wide open net, and he hit it, and that made it 2-1. Finnegan, it was sort of a similar play, kind of a crash to net kind of rebound goal again. Finnegan picked up that one. And then Deininger with 2 similar goals from the right side point, beating Korolev both times through the wickets. And that's where we stand, 5-1. Actually, it's 5-2, excuse me. They'd have another goal. Number 10, Alexander Buchanan, picked up his first goal of the season. That beat David Zapp over his blocker, or glove, excuse me. Kind of a clean shot. Zapp may want that one back, but Zapp only faced 7 shots in that period, but they were so infrequent, it may have only felt like he faced 2 shots. So Catholic actually had, I think the math is wrong here. This is no diss to our scorekeeper. Catholic's at 37 shots. It says 55. That math doesn't add up. They had 23 in the second, and then they had 12 in the first. So I think they're at 35 shots to GMU's 15 shots. So still way up in the score column, or shots on goal column as well. But GMU has a 2-man advantage to start here, and they have a 2-man advantage for a minute 45 seconds. So lots of time here. Catholic needs an early kill to start this third period. Catholic 2 men short. Johnson in the box. I believe that was for a trip, or slashing, excuse me, was a slash. And Logan Selwyn in the box for playing with a broken stick. Not one you see every day. But Catholic 2 men short, and they need a big kill here. Mulcahy gonna wait for this puck to go. The length of the ice. It wasn't icing, even though they're actually on the power play. GMU will pick it up. Try and put it in on David Zapp. It's loose behind the goal. Once again with the puck is GMU. Back out towards the right side point. Pass was off the mark. Neither defenseman could get to it. They'll have to regroup. 50 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Sullivan has it. He's in over the line. Catholic waits. Sullivan back out again. 12 has it. Back out across one more time over to Valasuso. As the shot taken by Valasuso may have been tipped on goal. Save made by David Zapp. And number 12, who made that previous play, Owen Cirillo. The native of, actually don't have his hometown listed on this sheet, excuse me. Nonetheless, Catholic wins this draw and is able to clear all the way down the length of the ice with 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. About 19 minutes remaining here in the third period. Catholic up by 3. Now, getting the puck in stride. Sullivan has it. 20 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Sullivan drops it for Valasuso. He has it behind the goal, looking in front for the centering feed. Valasuso back out of the right side. Back across to Sullivan. He's got it. Sullivan back out to Warcall. Looked like a dangerous play earlier, but Warcall's finds a shot from Sullivan, and the save made by David Zapp. 2 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. So Johnson will come out of the box, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 for 36 seconds. So at the left side again, here's Warcall. He has it, waits. Back out across to Cirillo. Warcall shoots, and it may have went off the post or the leg of David Zapp. I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, Catholic will come away with it, or he won't come away with it. Warcall keeps it on sides at the last moment. Deininger's able to keep it and able to try and push it out of the zone, but not in time, as Sullivan will keep it in. Back down low. Here's a backhander in on goal. Zapp redirects to the corner. Loose again in the slot, or excuse me, by the side of the goal. 4 seconds to go off the minor penalty to Selwyn. Catholic's killed it off now. Schwarzwater trying to drag the puck with him. He will as he shoots it into the zone. Puck loose. Goalie comes out of his net to play it and almost played it back to Catholic. Johnson will shoot this puck further into the zone. Still loose. Big hit by Scott, knocking the man down hard into the boards. Over to Shoreswater. Shoreswater's got it. Back down low. Loose behind the net. Picked up by Warcall, the defenseman. And a float was high in the air, hoping for Johnson. Or excuse me, for not intended for Johnson, but Johnson got to it for Catholic. Johnson now drops it to Merja. Merja's got it. In over the line. He waits. He holds the Shoreswater. Across, looking for Johnson off the one-time feed. That was off the mark. Out of the zone, Deininger had the puck in his skates. He didn't know it was there. Now he does. Deininger to Shoreswater. Shoreswater has it at center. Shoreswater in over the line, has it, waits, drops it to Simonson. He couldn't get the puck on his stick. Now Scott trying to get down the bouncing puck. Simonson gets it, shoots the shot. Save made. Rebound was loose in the slot. Kicked away and out of the zone. All the way down it will go. This will not be icing. Zap's out to play it. Zap leaves it for Joey Henry. Henry across, trying to find Mulcahy. Puck didn't get there, though, and here comes GMU. Passes off the mark. Brunner will get to it. Brunner's got it with the puck. 2-on-2 with Combs. Here's a shot taken by Brunner. Save made by Korolev. Rebound of the corner. Right side wall again. Henry has it. Shot taken on goal. Combs has it loose. And not getting that puck down in time was Combs as it was redirected into the corner. Brunner still has it again. The shot taken by Brunner, getting himself free. And now at the left side wall again, Mulcahy has it. Loose again as it was off a stick. Brunner trying to find the puck and out of the zone. At the left side, or at center, excuse me, all by himself. Knocked down with a big hit by Brunner. He falls to the ice. And man, still on his knees trying to get back up as he was kind of deflated after that hit. Puck is loose again. Mulcahy has it. Floats it into the zone, hoping for anybody on Catholic, but Simonson couldn't get there in time. Puck loose. Simonson gets it at center. Simonson floats it ahead to Johnson. Johnson loose. Cuts in inside. Goaltender poke check. Nice play to get it away from Johnson. Loose again at center. Picked up by GMU. They've got it with some speed. Cuts it in. Tries to get around Mulcahy. He knocks him down with a big check. Mulcahy now has it. Pass over to McQueenie. Trying to find Finnegan. That's off the mark. Loose again at the neutral zone. McQueenie picks it off. Here he comes. McQueenie has it to the left side. He waits. Backhander looking for the pass to Finnegan. Loose again over to Deininger. Deininger has it. Pass in front to Johnson. Loose again. Finnegan a shot. The save made by Korolev. Ready to go again was Korolev on that quick turnover play. Now McQueenie trying to get to it. He can't. Pass across over to the winger at the right side, number 21, fires it in on David Zapp, who gloves that one down. The shot was taken by Walkinshaw. Zapp ready again. Draw to the left of David Zapp, won by Nolan Scott. Scott's being pestered to go around to the perimeter. Shoreswater ahead to Nolan Scott. Scott has it in stride. As he tries to get around the defense, he will. Trying to go all the way with it, though, but he couldn't that time. Loose at the line. Selwyn tries to keep it in. He didn't that time. He tried to make it look like he did. Now Catholic touches up, and they're in onside. Shoreswater overskates the puck. Going the other way. Home run pass out of reach. It's going to be no icing. Wow, they will call icing here. Wow. Clearly winning the race was George Mason University. And referee, I guess, didn't see it that way. I mean, down 5-2. That's a play where, I mean, if the Catholic defenseman doesn't get back, and he didn't that time, that's got to be a non-icing call. And can't even blame Owen Cirillo. He won that race cleanly. He's saying, hey, why was that icing? And he's got a valid point. I can't even blame him. Nonetheless, though, this draw will move back out to center. 4:23 remaining here in the third. Puck is won by Catholic. GMU trying to get around the defense of Catholic. It's loose again. Floated in on goal. Hit the post. Zapp was able to hold the net, though. Mulcahy plays it across over to Combs. Combs has it, floats it over to Simonson. Simonson's got it with lots of speed. Simonson floats the cross back to Henry at the right side. Henry a shot, high in the air, deflected out of play. Yeah, 13:58 remaining here in the third period. And the shot totals on the board are 59-19. I'm going to say I think that's a bit too high if you ask me. I think it's more closer to 45 at this point. Or lower, maybe 42. Anyway, draw was won by GMU as they try to get the puck in on a long shot on David Zapp, goes wide of the goal. Combs, I believe, will pick it up for Catholic. Going to roll back to close to Zapp as a turnover by Catholic in their defensive end. Here's a shot taken that's deflected out of play into the safety netting. Draw taken by Brunner. He did win it to the winger to Mulcahy. Over to Connor Combs. Combs has it. Lost it along the boards. It was taken away. It could be a penalty coming up on Catholic, and it will be. It's going to be a trip or a hook. Coach Terenzio not happy with that penalty. Now he's going over to the referees, and he is yelling vociferously at the referees, but no avail. Connor Combs will head to the box. 2 minutes. And to be honest, I missed the signal. I mean, trip, hook, one of the two. Take your pick. Coach Terenzio vociferously yelling at the referees, but still yelling at the referees as he tried to get back in the play. I mean, to me, that looked like a pretty clear call. 2 minutes, Combs will sit, hooking or tripping. Now loose again. Okay, he gets to it cleanly off the draw. George Mason backed up again. You're down 3 goals. I mean, you got to press a bit more physically, or a bit harder off the face-off. I know they're short. I understand, and they're playing hard. Let's see. George Mason has it at the left side. Takes the shot off of Zapp. May have hit him in the head. A long bounce will float out of the zone. And over to Schwarzwater. Has it shorthanded. In on goal. He shoots. And he tried to, but the puck bounced off his stick and away from him. Wow. So almost a shorthanded goal for Schwarzwater. Couldn't settle the bouncing puck. And back in the defensive, then Schwarzwater will play this one out shorthanded. And they're going to say this was a hand pass. So we'll have a whistle. So 12:39 remaining here in the third period. Catholic up by 3. Were up by 1 at one point in this game. Now they're up by 3. Combs still sitting in the box. Short-handed offensive zone draw for Catholic. They have Johnson, Merja, and the 2 defensemen, Selwyn and Deininger. Deininger has it at the point. Waits, holds, takes his time with it, and now floats it back down low, hoping for Merja, who kind of backed up, waiting for a defensive play. Or waiting to make a defensive play, I meant to say. And Catholic will get the puck back off an ill-advised pass. Deininger back to Selwyn. And Selwyn will play this across just to George Mason, who's having trouble getting entry into the zone at this point. Now they have it in over the line as they wait. They hold. Buchanan had it, pass it across, and that's out of the zone again, all the way down. Having to chase it is Ian Brooks. Brooks with some time. There's 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Cirillo will get to it as well. Shot back into the zone, now out of the zone, and loose in the neutral zone, picked up by Brooks. 20 seconds remaining on the Combs minor penalty. Cirillo has it. Looks to get it across. Johnson with some good forechecking prevents that from happening. Brooks once again across over to Walkinshaw. In over the line, fires it just over the goal. 6 seconds remain. Brooks at the left side point, waits, fires it. May have been blocked off a leg. Here's another shot on David Zapp. That's blocked, diving blocked by Selwyn. Nice play to get it freed up. Here comes Frankie Merja. Merja and Johnson. He also got Combs out of the box. Merja stops on the dime, circles back. He waits, back down low to Johnson. Johnson holds, looking for the pass in front to Combs. Combs may have gotten the pace of that, but it's back to George Mason as they have it at center. The puck comes up slowly off the wall. Cirillo had it, bumped off the puck. Cirillo still chasing, gets around Henry, tried to. Zap with a stick. Joey Henry's down. He may have taken a stick up high. Now gets back up to his feet. This puck's in a row to Korolev as he's going to knock that one in the corner. Looks like Henry's okay. Maybe just caught a quick stick up high, and he's still on the ice at his defensive spot. Now, trying to knock the man into the corner. Trying to find that puck was Keegan Heim, but Brunner will come away with it. Brunner's got it. Brunner has it. Waits. Fires it. Save made by Korolev off the pads again. Combs. Hard hit into the boards by Warcall. Still loose in front. Puck was loose at the side of the goal. George Mason clears. And now out of the zone with it is GMU. Cleanly at the left side. Nice pass in over the line. Trying to guide him towards the net. They backhanded in on goal. It bounces, but David Zapp with the lightning-like glove was ready. 10:06 remaining here in the third period. Catholic up by 3. A draw to the left or right of David Zapp. One cleanly by Catholic. I believe it was Nolan Scotted on the draw. It's loose again back behind the goal. Trying to wrap it in front was Catholic. Here's a shot taken, or GMU trying to wrap it. The shot was taken. I believe Zapp made that save. Here comes Jackson Schwarzwater has it. Schwarzwater in over the line, trying to get around the defense. He stood up. Johnson, excuse me, Scott picks up the shot. And the save made by Korolev. Puck still loose, though, and now the whistle. My goodness, I mean, late whistle, I mean, not necessarily sure. Nonetheless, though, actually we have a goaltending change for GMU. We have number 35, Liam Rathbone, the native of Fairfax County, Virginia. Now, he's a freshman. Played at Chantilly McLean High School. Just made his first save of the night. Here's a shot taken. Big save by Rathbone off the pad. I'll have more information about Rathbone we'll say in a minute. Now Schwarzwater's got it. Back down low, hoping for Merja. Merja's got it at the left side half wall, or face-off dot. Back down low to Scott. Scott has it, waits. Now gets to Schwarzwater indirectly. Here's a shot through the crease. Deininger will step up in the play. Deininger's got it. Back down low to Frankie Merja. Merja to Scott looking for the 1-T. Deininger up in the play, hoping for 3. He's got it. He holds, fires it through the crease. Now at the right side point coming over was Weidenkampf to help out Deininger, who was up in the play. Merja gets to it. Merja to Scott. Big save by Rathbone. Oh, it looks good. 3 saves so far for the youngster. And this puck's shot all the way down. It's going to be icing on GMU. Got 8:50 to go here in the third period. And more on Liam Rathbone. He had a 1-1 record last year at Chantilly McLean High School. And so far, he's made 3 saves. Now we have a change in the shots on goal for Catholic. Now they're at 44 shots on goal. It's at 55, 57. It's got knocked down to 44, so now we'll have a more clear indicator of how many shots. That sounds about right if you ask me, 44. So here's McQueenie over to Henry. Back to McQueenie. McQueenie had the shot, elected not to take it as Rathbone fell in his crease on his own. The issue with his skate, nonetheless, I'm not sure. Play continues. Warcall has it for GMU at the left side with some space. He's got it up in the play. Warcall gets around the defense, but he trips. They're going to call tripping here on Joey Henry. And Henry not happy with himself. We'll go to the sin bin. 2 minutes for tripping. So 5-on-4 coming up for 2 minutes to Catholic University's Joey Henry. That's his first penalty minutes on the season. Another power play for GMU. They have 1 power play goal tonight. As they take the shot off the draw and the save made by David Zapp. So penalty will be up at the 7:55 mark. excuse me, we're a little off of the clock as the penalty changed itself on the scoreboard. So Henry's in the box for about a minute 50 still remaining. Here's a shot taken from the point. It was blocked. Puck still loose. Picked up. Catholic wanted a penalty for a trip or something of that nature. Not going to get it, though, as the power play continues. Here's a shot taken on Zapp. Save made, rebound, and Zapp was ready again. So you've got 7:31 remaining on the penalty to Joey Henry. See, excuse me, 1:31 remaining. 7:55 remaining in the third period. And GMU not out of this game. And the power play goal here, Catholic's not out of the woods yet. Off this draw, won by Catholic, or GMU. Trying to clear was Catholic. Now they couldn't, and now they do. Here's Shoreswater. He's got it shorthanded, trying to find Scott. Scott has it, waits, holds, trying to center it, and now Shoreswater's got it. He waits. He holds it. It was knocked away, and trying to clear was GMU, but they still can't. Mind you, they're on the power play. Now they do, and going the other way with it is GMU. You know, on the sides, they wait, hold, and they try to fire the puck. Scott with a bit of a check, knocks the puck away. Deininger up ahead to Shoreswater with lots of speed. Deininger has it. Excuse me, Shoreswater has it. Shot taken. It was blocked. Loose. Scott tried to go for a big hit. He was knocked down hard with a counter check. In on sides again. As they wait, they fire the shot. It was blocked one more time. Picked up by Deininger. Jackson to Jackson. Now Shoreswater's got it. Shoreswater has it. Waits. Tries to get around the defense. Nice play by Warcall to prevent him from going anywhere, but only to center as Shoreswater couldn't get it further into the zone. Got 25 seconds remaining on the power penalty to Henry. Puck is still loose. Now picked up by GMU behind their goal. Finnegan prevents the clear from happening as he's up in the play, trying to find that puck. Knocks the man down, still has the puck. Finnegan looking to circle in front. Loose to Brunner, he shoots, and just wide of the goal. Penalty up on Henry. Henry comes out of the box. It's 5-on-5. Now, penalty over. Out of the box now, Henry, and getting away with the puck was GMU, but Mulcahy recollects with 6:12 to go here in the third. Puck will hit high off the glass. Johnson will let it settle, and here he comes. Johnson has it at the right side. Waits, fires it, gets deflected off the boards behind the goaltender. Now, Brunner back down low to Finnegan. Finnegan all by himself. He's got McQueenie with him now coming from the point. But GMU clears. Mulcahy across to Johnson. Johnson across to Finnegan. Puck was out of his reach. Play will continue here. No icing. May have touched his stick. GMU trying to desperately get back in this game. Needs 3 quick goals to do so. We've seen crazier things. Now, trying to get the pass in front, the shot. Puck still loose and taken away by Johnson. Getting back in time. It's going to be another penalty. I think this is going to be on Catholic. I didn't see an arm up, but I did see a whistle, or hear a whistle, and it didn't look like Catholic had the puck covered. Let's see what they're going to call here. So coming over. Gonna wait and see. Coming over to the referee. This is going to be a penalty on Catholic. Terenzio vociferously. Not happy. I think this, yeah, this is going to be a penalty here. I'm waiting to see. Trying to argue the case as I'm going to be honest, I didn't see what the penalty was, and I'll try to be more in observational to see what it was. I'm not sure. Did they call it? I didn't see necessarily. So we're going to have Connor Combs sit for this penalty here. At 5:25, now Combs will sit. Didn't see what the penalty was. So another penalty for GMU. And just like that, they still got some time to work with here. Get back in this game. Draw one by Catholic University. Mulcahy trying to clear. Gets it to Shoreswater. This will go all the way down the length of the ice. Coming back to get it is the defenseman. Goaltender says, hey, come get this puck. It didn't roll all the way down for me to pass it to you. So loose again. Getting it at center, Sullivan. He's got it. Got to get some quick shots on goal if you're George Mason to get back in this game. I think they've been a little too passive with their shot selection, especially in the third. Now, here's a quick shot. I don't know if they heard me or not. Here's a shot taken by, I believe it was either Sullivan who made the pass or took the shot. Zap had a little bit of a juggle with it, trying to hold on to it, but eventually he covered. 4:56 remaining here in the third period. Merja trying to win the draw. He'll get it indirectly off the boards. It's coming out loose at center. Trying to cut it off was Merja, and Shoreswater still loose with that puck. Merja gets to it, trying to shoot it in the zone. And across to one of the other men. Henry up in the play, prevents the puck from getting around him, but the puck was passed away. Now, shot taken again. Knocked away one more time. Merja will get to it and fling it all the way down the length of the ice. Rathbun will play it. Oh, man, that was a dangerous pass, but gets it across to his winger, Keegan Heim. He'll pass across. The shot taken goes through the crease and all the way out of the zone. Shot was taken by number 10, Alexander Buchanan. Now loose. Again, picked up by Cole Mulcahy. He has it at the right side. Defenseman falls in all alone as Mulcahy shoots. And he scores! Cole Mulcahy, shorthanded. Through the wickets, I believe, of Rathbone. 6-2 Cardinals. Wow. That's every kind of goal for Catholic except an empty netter. Power play, shorthanded, and even strength. Cole Mulcahy's first of the season, second point on the year. Unofficially, could be more than that if he had an assist tonight, which he may have had. Mulcahy makes it 6-2. So Catholic still shorthanded for another 36 seconds. McQueenie now has it and looks to start up. McQueenie has it, waits, holds, looking to center in front, back behind the goal. McQueenie back out right side to Selwyn, across to Deininger. Deininger met with some players, trying to keep the puck in. It's knocked out of the zone. Deininger across over to the right side one more time to Buchanan. Buchanan has it to the left side boards, waits, holds. He's knocked to the perimeter by Deininger. Gets the pass free to Cirillo. Cirillo across to Sullivan. Floats it into a goal. It's blocked and a roll to Zap, and he'll hold on for a whistle here. Combs now out of the box. .325 remaining in the third. Catholic looking to hold on for their first win of the season. And their home opener looking good so far. 3 minutes to go, though. If you're GMU, if it's this late in the game, do you... I know you're down 4 goals, and if you just want to try and see if you get something here, do you pull your goaltender maybe? I'm not too sure. Nonetheless, Deininger has it. Across out, center zone feed to Brunner. Finding Simonson. Simonson knocked down to one leg. Still has the puck over to Brunner. Brunner lets it go. And high into the glass. Looking more like a Catholic University field goal on that one. Anyways, play continues. Deininger met with a player in his face. Gets the puck over to Simonson. Simonson had it at the line. And Deininger's offsides. GMU will recollect. And with the puck at center was GMU. They still have it. Simonson with a nice offensive play. Deininger waits, holds, takes his time, finds Brunner off the board. It's going to be off his stick and into the zone with 2:30 to go here in the third period. Still loose again. Shoreswater picks it up, stops, cuts in, cuts back in again, holds it, waits, fires it. He hit the crossbar. Nice move to cut in and out. Wiggled his way around, and he beat everything but the bar. My goodness, I think that's the Cardinals' second post of the night. Been rather fortunate with these bounces, if you're asking me. But 2:17 to go. Catholic commanding 6-2 lead. So Nolan Scott in to take the draw for CUA. Gets it ahead to Merja off the draw. Merja looking to backhand it and look at a wraparound goal. Save made by Rathbone. Mulcahy up the head to Shoreswater. Shoreswater has it across over to Joey Henry. Henry's got it. Henry waits. He holds. Packs into the middle for Scott. Fires it through the crease. Missed it that time. Going the other way, trying to find the man at center. Knocked off the puck by Henry, getting back in time. Mulcahy has it. Mulcahy over to Henry. Henry has it, gets around it. The defense to Merja. Merja waits, pass across the short, has the whole net. A big save by Rathbone, jumping out on top of that puck. Nice save for the goaltender coming in relief. Got a lot of net to shoot at. Rathbone said not this time. He's ready to rock and roll with that save. 1:37 remaining in the third period. Catholic up by 4. And we'll talk more in the postgame about the Catholic Cardinals' upcoming opponents as play continues here. You got 1:35 on the clock as a shot in front. McQueenie tucks it home. 7-2 Cardinals. So McQueenie gets on the scoreboard late. Lucky 7. It's the MC on the board. Yeah, pass was just in front. Rebound was loose. I think Rathbone had it. It was off his leg. Went to the right side of the net and back in front of the crease. McQueenie was there for the wide open tap-in. That's McQueenie's first on the season. That makes it 7-2. Now Finnegan has it. Puck rolled off his stick. Now floats in the front again, hoping for McQueenie. Couldn't get it that time. Now McQueenie again. He's bodied along the boards. McQueenie has it behind the goal. Loose again. Puck along the wall. About 1:10 to go here in the third. Catholic just increased their lead to 5. In over the line as they wait. Weidenkamp steps up. Allows GMU to get around them, though. Ian Brooks has it. Actually let his winger get it, number 9, which was Heim. Heim still battling for the puck along the wall. Under a minute to go here in the third. Here's a shot. Taken is blocked. Partly, I believe, by McQueenie. Another shot by Brooks, loose in the crease. Zap, a big save, extending the leg. My goodness. Now players battling in front. Weidenkamp getting physical in front. There's physical play behind the play now as play moves up ice. Deininger's got it. Deininger, a miss play along. And, oh, man, Weidenkamp, the big hit. That's going to be offsides here. A late hit on Brendan Johnson. And here we go. The physicality starting to pick up. The frustration's boiling over. 19 seconds to go here. 19 seconds to go here. Physicality starting to pick up. And, I mean, Weidenkamp, big hit. I think he was going after the player that just hit him. All right, 19 seconds to go. We'll see if the frustrations continue to boil over here for both teams. Coach Terenzio switching out the lines. I think some players that he think might not get into some physical play. 7-2 the score with 19 seconds to go. This puck's behind the net. Simonson's got it. Trying to dig it free from the left side. And Brunner just took a slash on the skates. I just happened to notice that. Player was skating by him, hit him in the legs. George Mason not happy with the result of this game. They're going to wind down the clock. That's going to end the game here. Catholic victorious, 7-2 victors over George Mason University. A nice way to start. Their first home game on the year. Treating the home fans to a nice treat. 7-2 victors and a nice game all around for the Cardinals. Now both teams will wind up and shake hands here. Cardinals big winners today, making up for that big loss against George Washington University. They beat George Mason University 7-2. David Zapp wasn't too busy tonight, still made 22 saves. The latter, the high-powered Catholic offense, getting it done tonight with a 7-2 win. A lot of big plays, big name players getting it done, and some other players, new guys getting it done for the Catholic Cardinals. We'll break it all down after the game. Coming up in just a moment with the post-game report. Catholic walking away with a nice win, 7-2. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk more about the post-game. We'll be back in just a minute. And don't forget the score. Catholic wins this one, 7-2. All right, 1 second. Well, we're live from the Tucker Road Ice Rink. Cardinals 7-2 victors. I'm here with, give us 1 second. I'm here with Cole Mulcahy. Cole, you had a nice game tonight, really a force in the back end, and rewarding yourself. You got a goal at the end there. What was the big play? What was the big thing set in the locker room to get out and get a big win like this, especially with the performance from last game?
Yeah, it's a good question. Going into the locker room with a 1-1 tie, we definitely knew we needed to step up the intensity, definitely. We just got all together and said we need to outbid physically. We need to move the ice a little bit better. We need to make smoother passes. We got to simplify our game a little bit. I think we stepped out on the ice a little fast, and we got a little too excited to start. So by simplifying it, getting a little bit more physical, and really slowing down our game, making it simple.
You know, one thing I want to touch on too, and it was a great game from the Cardinals. Definitely a step up from last game. Obviously, 7 goals. One thing I wanted to talk about, what are your thoughts on the penalties from today's game? I think some of them were kind of sloppy. It's definitely something the team could clean up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely had one too many penalties today. I think that can be fixed by putting a little bit more effort on the back check. I think we found ourselves in a sticky situation sometimes on an odd man rush where forwards would get caught up. I got caught up myself one time. So I think it's an easy fix just by putting in a little bit more effort and making the back check, sticking to the systems.
Sure, absolutely. Let's take it back to the positives here. Tell me about your goal. Short-handed, nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw my ability to pick off a pass on the wall, and I immediately jumped it, taking up the open ice, and coming in on the goalie at a little bit of an angle where I did a forehand backhand. So.
Did you think you had it all the way, or did you know, or did you wait for the ref to signal?
I definitely didn't know immediately. I was intending to go 5-hole, but I think I found it over his right shoulder, so I'm definitely grateful for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know it was in either. I hesitated as well. But one more thing for you. Anybody you'd like to shout out? I mean, we always like to do that on the broadcast. Anybody back home?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to my parents watching this game right now. I'm sure they were a little bit nervous when I had a little bit of a fall in the second period, but we made it out, and so shout out my parents.
There you go. Cole Mulcahy stepping up this year. One of the defensive players for the Cardinals tonight had a goal. I believe he had a couple assists as well. A couple assists, two?
I believe so, too, yeah.
3 points tonight. Leads the Cardinals in points as of now. Cole Mulcahy, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the broadcast. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you for having me, Julian.
Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll be back with the rest of the postgame in just a second. That's Cole Mulcahy. We're still here on the post game, nonetheless. We're going to wrap this up in just a second. The Cardinals had a couple of goals in that third period to really solidify the win. They were up 5-2 heading into the third. They got 2 more, one from Matthew McQueenie and one from Cole Mulcahy, the player of the game we interviewed. And he played a solid game tonight as well. Like you mentioned, 2 assists. 2 assists for Cole Mulcahy and a goal. And a performance that the Cardinals can be happy about. You got Daniel Mark happy. He's all enthusiastic as we're near the locker room here at Fort Wash in the Tucker Road Ice Arena. And, of course, Cardinals, I think maybe the second period could have been cleaned up a bit. Obviously, the first period was a little back and forth. Like Cole said, they were a bit on their heels. The second period, they kind of got in their groove a little bit. The third period, they put some more goals in the back of the net. But at the same time, they also played well enough to defend, too. So they did a mix of both. And in that sense, you can kind of say the third period was the period where they locked it down and solidified everything. Well, the Cardinals have 2 games coming up next weekend. They have a game 4:30 against Johns Hopkins next Saturday afternoon at Laurel Ice Arena. Like we mentioned, it could only be radio coverage, potentially, because of the rink Wi-Fi situation. So we'll have coverage beginning at 4:15 on the radio network or on YouTube. We'll let you know the day of. And we'll also have coverage Saturday night when the Cardinals play Gettysburg College at York Ice Arena. Again, Laurel's about 40 minutes from campus if you're looking to make the trip. Could be more traffic on Friday afternoon. Saturday night, the Cardinals play in York. They'll play Gettysburg. That's about a 2-hour ride from campus. Could be more. Just depends on the traffic, of course. As always, I'm Giuliano Luca. Thank you for tuning into the postgame. Thank you for tuning into every single game. We'll have coverage next Friday night. Enjoy the victory. And as the great Gene Hart would say, good night and good hockey. We'll see you next Friday night.